Last game of the night just finished up. The Steelers beat the Raiders 23-18. Kenny Pickett was 16-28 for 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. This was a really solid output for him, but you got to keep in mind that the Raiders have a bad pass defense. So I was expecting a little more with George Pickens out there, but we'll take this for sure. Najee Harris had 19 carries for 65 yards. He led the way for all rushers. So this 19 carries is a little misleading because Jaylen Warren still outproduced him as far as fantasy points because Najee didn't do anything in the passing game and Jaylen Warren had 3 catches. So keep that in mind with this, but still 19 carries is staggering compared to 8. As far as when you look at the two, Najee is not as explosive as Jaylen Warren, so you would think that that number would come a little bit closer together, but it seems like they're pretty firm with giving Najee the bulk of the carries at least. Jaylen Warren had 8 carries for 29 yards. Kenny Pickett had 3 carries for 11 yards, and Connor Hayward didn't get any yards with his only carry. George Pickens is really good. He's held back by Kenny Pickett not being very good, but he is a legit receiver. He's going to stay as a number 1 receiver talent in the league for a long time. 4 catches for 75 yards for him. A little disappointing because the matchup wasn't great, but Calvin Austin, he had 2 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown. Really good day for him. Pat Freiermuth, he responded after 2 really miserable weeks. He did really well, especially for a tight end. This is a great line. 3 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown. Allen Robinson had 4 catches for 24 yards. Jaylen Warren had 3 catches for 23. Najee didn't haul in his only target, and Connor Hayward didn't haul in either of his 2 targets either. So Jaylen Warren still the back to roster because, especially in a PPR league, because he's getting all the passing down work. 19 carries. Najee still isn't going anywhere, having said that, so this seems like a pretty even split when you just look at the work on its own, or as far as like fantasy output on its own. And Kenny Pickett, not worth rostering despite a good game today. For the Raiders, Jimmy Garoppolo was 28 of 44, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 picks. He didn't look that great out there, to be honest, but he seems to be the guy. They paid him certainly like the guy, $30 million per for 3 years. He is the guy. Josh Jacobs, nice little rebound game here. 17 carries for 62 yards. Jimmy Garoppolo also had 7 yards on the ground. Davante Adams, monster day. 13 catches, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 19 targets. Like, I know Jakobi Meyers had a great game last game, but make no mistake about, or not last game, but the week before last. But make no mistake about it, Davante Adams is and always will be the number 1 receiver in this offense. But Myers looked good. 7 catches for 85 yards. Made some really impressive catches. If he's on your waiver wire, I would suggest adding him because this team's going to be playing from behind a lot, and they're going to be throwing the ball, especially if Josh Jacobs can't get more efficiency than he is. There's going to be some throwing here, so look out for Jakobi Meyers going forward. Josh Jacobs had 3 catches for 18 yards. Hunter Renfrow had 2 for 17. DeAndre Carter had a catch for 16. Amir Abdullah had 2 catches for 16. So Davante Adams, lock it in, must start. Add Jakobi Meyers if he's available in your league. Stay patient with Josh Jacobs. This was a nice rebound game for him. And leave Jimmy Garoppolo on the wire.